Help support Friendo Club by going to patreon.com/Steven Larson or clicking join at youtube.com/Steven Larson. Access to bonus episodes, question threads for the Going In Raw podcast, and entry to our monthly wrestling predictions challenges. Join the Friendo Club today. Hey, Friendo, Steve here.
And Larson.
And welcome back to Going In Raw. On today's episode, Rocky sucks. Rocky sucks. But too bad, he's wrestling anyways. We're going to talk about Monday Night Raw and the ongoing saga. Larson, we need a saga.
It's a saga.
And the saga today is all about hashtag we want Cody. And we're going to talk about all that. But first, of course, well, number one, by the way, for the live friendos here in attendance, because we did the show yesterday from over there, let us know if I'm louder than Larson or not, because I don't want that to be.
Anytime things have to be broken down and reconstituted.
Right, exactly.
Things change invariably.
Right.
It's just how it happens. So hopefully everything sounds and looks fine. Hey, thanks for everybody. We didn't think it would happen this soon.
Oh, man, yeah.
But we crossed 200,000 subscribers. We blew past 200,002. That means we have to make a feature film now.
We're going to make a very well-made short film. I feel like that is sort of
minimum 60 minutes in length. Yes, agreed.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, okay, you agree. That's good. So thank you, everybody.
Oh, wait, no. 15
times 4. Thank you, everybody, for hitting that subscribe button. We really do appreciate it. We couldn't do this without everybody's support, and it means a lot. So thank you, everybody.
So people are saying that you were low compared to me, so all I did was turn me down. So if everybody turn your volumes up as opposed to me turning Larson up, that'll help. But yeah, dude, I was hoping that we would get there by WrestleMania, and obviously it has been a wild couple of weeks with the news. And I had mentioned this on the pre-show that you can look at it one of two ways. I know that there has been some incredibly unsettling news with the Vince allegations and the lawsuit and the Laurinaitis and the WWE stuff. And a lot of our recent sub growth has been due to that. Whenever there is a large event of any type, we benefit with YouTube subscribers, obviously. But the way I like to look at it is that people came to us and they stuck around for the way we covered that information. And so any way you break it down, we were doing the math on it. So back in 2018, we hit 182,000 subs, and we had achieved 120,000 of those came over the 3-year span. So from 2015 to 2018, we started out around 60,000 when we got laid off from Machinima. We were able to get up to 182,000. For some reason, it just sort of stopped around 186,000. And so it's been 6 years trying to get this last like 20,000 or so.
I know.
We've changed up the way we do our program to emphasize YouTube, and I think that's also helped. But regardless of the reason, thanks for all the support, all the congratulations we received on social media. We really appreciate it.
We do.
It like I tell people who are starting out on YouTube, perhaps the sub count. It's kind of. It's not the end all be all metric, and one could argue it's not even a metric really you need to pay attention to. But in terms of growth, it is a metric, and it's nice to hit a goal. So thanks to everybody for helping us get so much.
There. Yes, thank you. All right, so to start talking about Raw, the goings-ons in the world of pro wrestling, we got a super chat here from NPR. It says, to borrow from a Sean Ross Sapp tweet, did WWE just shoot themselves into a work? So the topic du jour in the wrestling world, ever since Friday night, is what's going to happen at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
We want Cody. Rocky sucks. Is it going to be Rock Roman? Is it going to be Roman Cody? Is it going to be all three of them? Is it going to be 2 matches over the course of 2 nights with Roman Cody night 1, Rock Roman night 2? We don't know.
Yeah.
And Raw didn't really illuminate anything in terms of what direction they're heading. If anything, it added another variable in play now that Drew McIntyre laid out Cody at the end of Raw and literally looked up at the WrestleMania sign after he did it.
Yeah. It definitely seems like they're heading in that direction to add a couple more wrinkles to this.
Yeah.
So it was PW Insider is now reporting that multiple sources have noted that The Rock is 100% performing in the ring at WrestleMania 40. That is a done deal. And as they noted on Saturday, this is continuing on their quote, as we noted on Saturday, PW Insider, likely something that was contractually locked in as one of the milestones Rock would be involved in as part of his TKO board of directors deal. We were told there is, quote, no scenario where Rock is not wrestling Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40 unless something unforeseen happens, like an injury. There's also been reports that the WWE was not expecting there to be loud, prominent Rocky sucks chants, which I have no doubt in my mind will continue the next time Rock shows up on screen, which would be kind of a shock, given that up until now, live crowds are pro-Rock whenever he shows up.
Very much so. It's going to be this Thursday thing, this press event in Vegas, hyping up WrestleMania on Thursday. I had an idea, Steve. Think about it. Mull this over.
Yeah.
Should we do a watch along of this press event? It's at 4 o'clock on Thursday.
It's at 4 o'clock on Thursday. That should work. I doubt it's going to be more than an hour long.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be very long.
Yeah, I'm definitely down for that. It is a certain someone in my life's actual birthday that day, but we're not going to do anything. Like, we can probably do that at like 6 or whatever. So, so yeah, from 4 to 6, I should totally be available.
Cool. All right. Yeah. Well, there you go then. So that's going to, I would think, point us in whatever direction they might be heading.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
But as mentioned on Raw, you had, of course, you had Seth Rollins come out and again plead with Cody, pick me.
The crowd was so in tune to every twist and turn in this promo. When he would suggest pick me, they would boo. They would say nobody was booing Seth. They were booing the suggestion that it should be Cody versus Seth at WrestleMania. And they were loud with the "we want Cody" stuff. Tons of, and you can, I guess, debate as to whether or not they were planted there or not. There seems to be a situation where there were some planted signs and some, organically, signs that were brought to the arena. And they were booing Rocky, cheering Cody, chanting "we want Cody," booing the mention of Seth versus Cody, and seemingly receptive to the idea that they still really want Cody versus Roman.
Yes. And over the last couple of days, even since yesterday when we did the show, Meltzer and Alvarez had a conversation about how this was a shoot that turned into work, and then Dave's like, no, this has been a work for a long time.
Nobody seems to know, Larson.
Nobody knows. And there is some Meltzer alluded to the fact that Triple H, on Twitter, he alluded to the fact that Triple H knew about the deal with The Rock as far back as January 3rd, and yet still had Cody win the Rumble.
But here's the thing about that. This is why it's so wild. And I talked about this yesterday in terms of our responsibilities, getting info from the wrestling journalists out there. That number one, there does seem to be a very distinct plan or attempt over the past couple months by WWE to put out misinformation using Wrestlemania. This is Justin Barrasso had this thing in Sports Illustrated. Sources say Cody is not going to be finishing his story at WrestleMania. That's not in the plans right now. And then it's retracted the next day. A deliberate attempt at misinformation from previously reliable sources, or at least they believed this, and it was put out through the office because maybe they knew there was. I don't know. But Dave Meltzer is doing all sorts of mental gymnastics right now. Most of what he's saying, I feel like, is just his own informed speculation or his own educated speculation, thinking to or saying, if you think, and I kind of agree with this, if you think Triple H wasn't aware of The Rock's contractual obligations vis-a-vis being in the main event of WrestleMania, if you think he didn't know that from the get-go, you're crazy. Of course he knew. And he's still booked Cody in the Rumble. I kind of feel like there's a little bit of like he's just saying that as a common sense, not necessarily. He knows that. I kind of feel like that's got to be the case. It would be absolutely silly to think that Triple H.
Yeah, yesterday when we were
stuff.
talking about this stuff, it was like you have to make the leap that they kept Triple H in the dark about
big
all
leap.
that.
Yeah.
And that seems like a bit of a stretch. Absolutely. The idea that only Ari Emanuel and Nick Khan would know that The Rock agreed to this WrestleMania deal. He wouldn't divulge that fact until the end of January. It's a lot to kind of digest and make sense of.
It is. And I honestly, and here's, honestly, this is part of it. For me, watching Raw last night, watching Cody, Seth, Drew, and the crowd all in that opening segment, I'm like, this is kind of cool. Like, I don't know how this is going to shake out. Cody tweeted out, guys, just trust me. Look, here's the bottom line. If you're a Cody fan, you know me, I'm number one Cody fan. I don't give a shit if it's Rock Roman at WrestleMania. I really don't. I think it was a weird thing to do if it's the Rumble, but you know, all this time I've given Triple H and WWE Creative the benefit of the doubt. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I have no idea. Is it a power play? I don't know. Kind of seems like it could be, but who knows? Exactly. Maybe Triple H is the dude who's like, you know, we got to do like if I want to keep my job, I got to be booking the stuff that is going to bring in the biggest business while still maintaining, you know, the fan support and et cetera, et cetera. And when Rock comes in and we have the opportunity to do that, let's fuck around with some expectations. Let's subvert the audience, but still try to give them some cool twists and turns and try to book a cool story. This Seth, Cody, Drew stuff is a fucking cool story. It really is. And I don't know, maybe I'm just resigning to the fact that we're probably going to get Rock Roman, but we don't know what's going to happen on Thursday.
No, we don't.
And I kind of like it, to be honest. I think it's a lot of fun.
You know, building up to the Rumble, they did a lot, especially on the men's Rumble, to subvert expectations. They had that whole thing with Gunther and Seth. They were like, oh, all right, I could totally see Gunther winning this. When for the longest time, it seemed like, oh, Cody's going to win. CM Punk comes back. He makes the case why he should win the Rumble. He was the favorite, I believe, going into Rumble Saturday. I think CM Punk was the favorite to win it. Didn't happen. You know, and you can make the case why it would make a lot more sense to have anybody other than Cody win the Rumble, because it gives them the opportunity to have an easier path for Rock Roman if they chose to go that way. Apparently, it was all decided as of January 3rd, if that's to be believed. You know, 3-4 weeks before the Rumble, anyways. So even on TV, I feel like WWE Creative has made a pretty significant attempt to throw curveballs your way, make you second guess what you think is an obvious direction. And doing that kind of in conjunction with the backstage news. And I mean, they had us, you and me. We bought into the idea of Gunther winning the Rumble.
Oh, yeah.
Totally made sense why they would go that path.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So, you know, you obviously, there seems to be more of an attempt to put out some disinformation there. As far as the backstage stuff, but also on TV, they're making great attempts to not make things so obvious.
And not every look, man. Sometimes, and I will give, and again, you call me a Triple H apologist, whatever. Not every story beat is going to hit the way maybe they think it's going to hit. Maybe not every situation they put their characters in are going to hit. If this is an attempt to do sort of a Daniel Bryan situation where the powers that be behind the scenes make Cody do this ridiculous thing, that's some dangerous creative ground you're treading on right there. And on top of that, WWE sometimes, you know, regardless of Vince or not, WWE in general sometimes can't help themselves but to show their hand a bit, that they're trying to fabricate what could be an organic thing, but so far they're really succeeding at it. And you can look at the Cody dipping out of the Rumble thing. The promo situation last night was really interesting because Cody's performance, and it probably real life informs it, was a very emotional one. There looked like there might have been some regrets on his face. You know, he might have been like, oh, I'm not sure this is a great idea. I kind of regret this. And I again, is it going to be a Donnie Darko or a Southland Tales? You know what I mean? Is it going to be, hey, you're playing with some cool ideas here and you're executing them well in the end? Or is it going to be Southland Tales and it's be like, this is a goddamn mess. What are you doing right now? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With some cool ideas maybe that just didn't come to fruition.
Didn't necessarily coalesce. And maybe some of that could have been avoided if rather than Cody saying essentially, hey, I'm stepping aside and giving The Rock my Mania spot, if The Rock shows up, starts to make the case why he should be the one to challenge Roman.
Oh, look, I'm not saying that what happened on Friday was good creative in any way, shape, or form, but there's sometimes you come up with ideas that maybe seem okay on paper.
Yeah, obviously.
And we still don't know how this is going to play out. Would I have rather just gone the straight up route? I was advocating for Cody to lose the Rumble and have more of a Shawn Michaels Undertaker path to it.
Yeah, me too. Because I thought that gives them more flexibility in terms of what they do for the Roman match at Mania. Absolutely, nothing else.
Yeah.
From a storyline perspective, the last minute adversity you'd think help get Cody over. I guess rather than having him lose the Rumble and have to go through the Chamber to earn this spot. Mm-hmm. They're relying on the story now where in storyline he willingly, seemingly, gave up his spot. Now the fan reaction is not so much on being upset with Cody that he gave up the spot. All the anger is being directed towards Rock and towards WWE essentially. For not giving Cody his moment. Yeah.
And who knows? I mean, dude, glasses, which usually symbolizes, hey, I'm going to try to keep it real here. And him being seemingly like genuinely surprised at the Rocky sucks chance. Let me ask you this. Is there any way you think we're going to get a pivot to Hollywood Rock, to heel Rock, to I came in here to save WrestleMania? And he says that kind of outright because Cody didn't get the job done last year. So why do you his ass smells. So he's not going to be able to get the job done.
I think it was, who was it? I think it was PW. No, it was Meltzer saying that that apparently The Rock doesn't care if he's cheered or booed. He's just there to make, help the company make money. Which,
again,
that could be speculation as well.
That's what it is. Nobody told him that.
No.
That's my belief. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, well, he doesn't care if he's booed or not.
He doesn't. Here's the thing about The Rock. He doesn't care if he's booed or not,
So
remember that year-long period Meltzer had a dry cough?
Yeah.
I love Dave Meltzer, man. I think Fightful Select and the Wrestling Observer newsletter are the two best. If you're a fan of behind the scenes shit in wrestling, it doesn't get better in Wrestling Observer and Fightful Select. One thing about that, also we mentioned Fightful Select yesterday, and one thing about Fightful Select, one thing about Sean, is that at no point, at least I don't have time to listen to the podcast and stuff like that. So maybe Chad can correct me, but at no point in the Fightful Select reports that we get on their Fightful Select stuff, has there been a definitive account of what's going on. And I do feel like other wrestling sites are trying to give that. And that's such dangerous ground because I do kind of feel like some are starting to get it a little bit wrong. Like maybe that's a misinformation or they're just assuming too much or their sources don't quite know. But that's how I know that Fightful Select is sort of the definitive like modern day news source for pro wrestling backstage stuff, because Sean's not sitting there, just sort of throwing us what he thinks is the definitive story. He's got a ton of reactions and letting us sort of piece it together ourselves, because I don't think the definitive story is out there yet.
No, I don't think so either. And one thing Fightful is very, very good at is not making declarative statements as in Fightful reports this. It's sources have told us.
Right. Yeah.
This is the case.
Yeah.
So it's very much, this is what we're hearing from our sources. We're reporting what our sources are telling us and not saying we're reporting this is the case,
Right. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's an important line. A lot of people don't like that, which is bizarre. It's like, it's real life stuff. Things change, things move around, there are agendas, there are points of view. But a lot of people like to use that to slam, and I don't get it. I really don't.
Yeah, I don't get it either. Yeah, go subscribe to Fightful Select. It's awesome. It's great.
It's good stuff.
It's great stuff.
Anyways, before we continue on with our Raw recap, again, man, we've been hammering this home lately. Last night we hit 2 milestones. Well, 3 milestones. 199,991.
Yes.
Was the one. We blasted past that. Got to 200,000, which we've been trying to get since 2018. And then also,
we got 200,002 and then blasted past that.
Blasted past that. So the next one is 201,102. So
you know what? I say let's get a really good solid goal.
We're not skipping past palindromes, dude. That's not happening.
I'm gonna say 222,222. All twos.
That's a great ultimate goal. It really is. But in the meantime, we're gonna hit the palindromes, man. 201,102 is next.
Sure, I'm looking for 222,202. All twos.
That is a nice number. But yeah, as promised, we will be in development now. We're officially in pre-production on the untitled Steven Larson short feature film.
Yeah, that's right.
Short feature film. Look, this is a collaboration. You want feature, I want short, so it's a short feature film. Okay?
Well, short feature film would be 60 minutes.
Is that? No, it's a little bit. I think it's like, isn't it like 68 or something weird like that in order to be
it's
a
around
feature?
60 minutes. So
I think it has to be above. Like it has to be above an hour.
There you go.
Like an hour and 9 minutes, I think is sufficient.
So 69 minutes.
Yeah, I think 69 is good. That's a lot, though. That's a lot. So, like, but my suggestion yesterday was we just set the camera up.
Yeah.
You and I sit in front of the camera. We talk about wrestling for
You're
like an hour.
Describing what we do every day. That's a podcast.
Podcast, feature-length film. It's sort of the same thing in some ways. We're telling a story. Our experiences watching wrestling.
Didn't Andy Warhol produce a film, but it's just like one steady shot of the Empire State Building for like
10 hours.
10 hours, yeah.
Yeah. God, he takes a image of a banana and he just makes it look like, it's like, hey, I'm just going to stick this banana on like a blank piece of paper.
Yeah.
And then people buy it for like millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And the only thing is, if I try that, people will laugh at me. But if I was pretentious, if I was hella pretentious, people would be super into it. He was a wrestling fan though,
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, we got a super chat here from Jake Russell. It says, if WWE went back to Cody versus Roman, what match could they give The Rock if he still want to participate?
I don't think he would at that point. If it's not him versus Roman, then
yeah, what are they gonna do? Rock versus
probably likely be special enforcer or something like that.
No, that's I don't. Yeah, he says Jake here says him and Jay versus Jimmy and Solo. It looks like Jay's gonna be doing Gunther.
Yeah,
which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
What do you like? You like Jay's odds in that match?
Maybe. Well, if it happens at WrestleMania, then I think that's. I'm not necessarily saying for sure it's a title change, but I think Jay's chances of winning drastically improve.
They're much better than anybody else's that he's faced so far.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I agree with that. But yeah, also, we also have some more plugs here for you guys because that's what we do right now during the show. So we hit that goal. We got new goals in mind, both 201, 102, and 22222. Short feature film on the way. We've got that out of the way. Also, we've got a Patreon. It's called the Friendo Club Setup. Yes. As Roman Reigns beautifully illustrated this past Friday on SmackDown, he does 10 times. He gets paid 10 times as much as Seth Rollins does. 10 times less work than Seth Rollins.
A tenth of the work.
10 times less. Yeah, 10 times less. You can say that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. A tenth of the work Seth Rollins. And that's called the Tribal Chief setup, right? Seth can't get that. But I've got good news for Seth Rollins. He could be like the rest of us and get the Friendo Club set up.
Indeed.
That's right. There's 2 ways you can get that. We're not limiting it to 1 way, 2 ways. Patreon.com/Steven Larson or clicking join right here at youtube.com/Steven Larson. Brand new Friendo cast went up last night, this morning, something like that. It was last night.
Yeah.
So you got that. We got another one coming up this week because the one that went up yesterday was supposed to be last week. That's on me. And
the weekend was crazy. You were without internet for a while, so
yeah, it was crazy. So there's bonus episodes. There are question threads, and there's also access to the Big Blue Predictions Challenge, and that is what we do here for every premium live event or pay-per-view. Coming up next is the Week of Champions, featuring Elimination Chamber from WWE and AEW's Revolution. We're going to be doing a big 2 event predictions challenge Cameron Shank will be putting that Big Blue Digital Championship on the line. I'll be doing that picture because he sent me the picture that he wants to use. I'll be doing that very shortly. So you can have the bragging rights and us say your name as champion. The Big Blue Predictions Championship. So, Friendo Club setup. 2 ways you can get it. Patreon.com/Steven Larson or by clicking join right here at YouTube.com/Steven Larson. Let's talk about Monday Night Raw. More? Moss?
Yes, likes. Please, if you're watching this live, or VOD for that matter, hit that like button. Does a lot to help the show. Right now we have, 1,156 people watching us live.
Oh, wow. What's up, everybody?
Thank you, everybody. Welcome. Yet we only have 215 likes.
Why is this thing not telling me the likes that we have? Oh, there it is. Oh, because I had scrolled down. Okay. 200. Yeah, wow. That's not even close to. That's like a horrible percentage.
We like to get around 50% if possible. So if you're watching here live, hit that like button.
Look, I'm in a good mood right now because we passed 200,000 subscribers, and now we're going to make a short feature film.
Feature film, yes.
Well, it's going to be a short film that we feature on our YouTube channel. Is that what you mean by feature film?
It's going to, feature as in 69 minutes in length. That's the minimum, right?
Oh, no. Caslow25 in YouTube chat says, I'm late, but what is a Southland Tell slander? Oh, man. Not a lot of people are going to get that. That movie is a mess.
It is a mess. We got a couple more super chats here, too. We got one from Shelby Fielding. Says, hey, guys. Sean Ross Sapp said he believes TKO went over Triple H.
That could be. I feel like Triple H just sort of rolls with it. I think he learned to roll with it during the Vince years.
Yeah, I believe so.
It's like, hey, we got The Rock. We need to figure Rock into the main event plans. All right, I got a great idea. I'm going to get Cody more over. No, we want. Now listen, I got a great plan to bury The Rock. No, but he's going to be in the main event. Yeah, but everybody's going to be booed.
I'm gonna do the impressive feat. Get The Rock booed.
The never-ending feud between Triple H and The Rock. He's getting that dude booed.
I win. High Plains Drifter says everyone thought CM Punk AEW drama was a work. Lowell Meltzer is the king of being confused. I don't know if anybody thought the AEW CM Punk drama was a work, at least from the wrestling news outlets.
Man,
they're all like, no, this is legit.
Nobody really thought that was a work. No. But people all over. Look, people on Twitter and YouTube comments were like, some people think that everything's a work.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like some people think everything. It's like you don't go to like, I don't know, like the DMV and draw a number and then they like forget, they skip your number and be like, oh, they're doing that's a work. They did it on purpose.
They did.
You know what I mean? Like not everything is a work.
Yes, I know. Steven here with Super Chat says informed speculation, so guessing. Well, it's informed guessing, I would guess.
Well, there's an actual term called educated guess. It's people who know what they're talking about that make a guess that's better. It's a better guess. It's like what did Doc McCoy said to Spock? I'd rather take your guess than anybody else's facts. So like I'd rather take a Dave Meltzer guess than user 3469 on Twitter's, facts.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, let's go ahead. I sound like Dax there. So other things on Monday Night Raw. We've got a finals, an NXT Black and Gold style finals for the number one contendership for the tag titles.
Yeah.
DIY and British Strong style. We had Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne from the SmackDown side taking on DIY on the Raw side. Is that match happening? It's happening on Friday, isn't it?
Friday on SmackDown, yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be really good. That'll be really, really, really good. I would guess, since DIY has already had a tag title shot against Judgment Day, that we're going to get Peter Dunne, Tyler Bate getting the win there. And I don't know, on Raw they just said a future tag title opportunity, so who knows if that's on an episode of Raw, SmackDown, or if they're going to save that match for maybe Elimination Chamber.
Could be Chamber, yeah.
Which would be pretty cool. I would suspect Judgment Day would probably still retain, if regardless of where the match is held.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right.
Probably, but man, that'd be great. I'm happy that both DIY, even though I'm not into their packaging whatsoever, they're getting an opportunity to showcase their skills. And that 4-way tag match last night was awesome.
The match was awesome. They're regardless of their packaging, they're phenomenal wrestlers, a phenomenal tag team.
Yep.
I have no doubt that they're going to get to. I'm appreciating right now being able to clown them in their white meat babyface phase.
Yes.
Because I know at some point we're going to get something more interesting from them, but watching them this boring and generic is absolutely hilarious, given that we've seen them so much more interesting in the past.
Yeah.
It is pretty funny.
It is.
But they're over with the crowd. The crowd loves them because of their wrestling. They're so good.
Yeah.
And that match is going to be really good.
It is. It is. It absolutely is. And I was going to say, I'm happy to see that Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne are getting a bit of a push here as well.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Pete Dunne was doing the Butch thing for the longest time. It just seemed to be spinning its wheels, and I'm happy they actually brought him back to the Pete Dunne character, and just not an overnight thing. At least they took 2-3 weeks to logically build to it.
Yeah.
And hopefully on SmackDown on Friday, they'll give these two teams, 20 minutes, put on like an old school NXT takeover style tag match.
I'd love to see it. Mr. Dope agrees with us too. He says that tag match is going to be my dinner break for sure. I during the best stuff, that's when I like to eat my dinner too. Mm-hmm. So I'm glad me and Dope are on the same page. I can tell he's really looking forward to this match. I was like plunk down my dinner. This is the main event for me. Whatever I'm eating dinner during, that's my main event.
Oh, there we go.
There. Get one of those Bangkok double long boy chicken sandwiches in Burger King.
Wait, what?
Somebody sent me a tweet today, man. And I'm surprised he didn't. Did he just send it to me? Thought you would get the reference. Somebody sent me. Here it is. Yeah, Pete. Oh, Mayor Pete.
Oh.
In Bangkok, at the Burger King's there, they've got what they call a double extra long chicken cheese sandwich. And it's a long boy, but it's got 2 patties on it, and they're longer than usual.
What? Start planning that the vacation in Thailand now, aren't you, Steve?
Yeah, man. And it's only $349 whatever they use over there. There's a little thing that says $349 on it.
Wow.
Man.
There we go.
Heck yeah, dude. I'm down with that. That's me and Mr. Dober going to be eating during that DIY match. Tell you
there we
what.
Go. We referenced it briefly earlier, but we could talk more about Jey Uso stepping up to Gunther.
Let's do it.
I guess the idea would be it would probably be the WrestleMania match. Yeah. Still not sure if Gunther could travel to Australia for Elimination Chamber. He's apparently trying to establish residency here in the States. Might preclude him from traveling abroad.
Mm-hmm.
So whether that's a feud leading up to Mania, prior to whatever they decide to do with Gunther at Mania, or if this is the Mania feud, regardless. Again, if it's a situation where Jey Uso gets this match at WrestleMania, I think his odds of winning drastic go up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If it's just a Raw feud, probably not.
If it's Raw feud, definitely not. It could be a series. Like Jey Uso's a big enough name. He needs something to do for a while. We've seen this with Gunther before where he's got these series. And it could be, Raw match. Jey Uso has him on the ropes. Maybe for the first time in a while, because Gunther does not need interference. But, given that, like next week we've got this the 6-man with the New Day and Jay versus Imperium. Maybe because of the nature of that feud, it'll spill over into their solo match.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll sort of naturally take us, 2 months to get to the blow-off match, which of course will be at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
And you gotta figure if they're gonna do a title change, Jey Uso. We've talked about this before. His name is Main Event Jey Uso. He pretty much has lost most of the main events he's been in.
Yeah, he's lost basically all of them, at least for titles.
I think so. Yeah, I don't have Cage Match in front of me, but I'm pretty sure that's right. And he's got to get a big win. He is wildly over.
Oh, yeah.
And like him being the new Intercontinental Champion, taking it off Gunther, I could see the crowd going absolutely crazy for that. I really can. And plus, on top of that, Larson, Rock, one of his family members, he's the guy in charge now. We did this yesterday on the show. We booked an all-Rock WrestleMania. And Jey Uso, I forget what we had him doing, but I think he picked up the tag titles and maybe the Gunther title. I forget. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember either. But no, didn't Jey beat Seth?
Oh, was it Jey Seth? Maybe that's right.
It was
okay.
Jey Seth, and then
Jey was World Heavyweight Champion.
Win that match. He won the tag titles with his brother Jimmy.
I have the paper.
Why they reunite? I don't know.
I'm not going to get
They
it.
did.
Yeah. Oh, because Rock's there.
Yeah.
Let's
I mean,
put
like
it
in terms
aside.
of story, they're going to try to tell on TV. Why?
No,
why
that
they
is the
reunite?
story.
Who knows?
That is the story. Rock's here. We need to be on good
because
behavior.
The Rock wishes it, huh?
Because The Rock will. Yeah, he's going to get in there. He's going to listen, both your asses smell, make good. And then they do that.
We had a qualifying match last night for the Women's Elimination Chamber bout. Of course, that match will determine the number one contender for Rhea Ripley heading into WrestleMania. Becky Lynch defeated Shayna Baszler in a fun bout. I like when they have these huge gimmick matches that involve a lot of people, and they have qualifiers for it. It's a simple thing. It makes all the sense, especially with so much on the line that as many people would be striving to get a spot in the chamber match. You have Becky and Shayna. They got history.
Yep.
And it's cool to see. I think next week it's
Liv and
Zoe Stark, and they had a promo with Liv where she says her ultimate goal, revenge on Rhea Ripley for putting her on the shelf, injuring her for a year.
Yeah, I might want to choose a less ambitious goal there, Liv Morgan.
Yeah. He had Rhea calling out Nia for a match and then Adam Pearce makes the match at Chamber. They're starting to set things up. Again, not just for Chamber, but looking ahead to WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Becky will win the Chamber match. We'll get Becky and Rhea at WrestleMania. It'll be great. It could very well main event night one.
It should. Well, no, Bayley Io should. It's crazy. Why is it the women win the Rumble, and they don't get a main event?
I know. No, I agree.
Come on,
they should.
What is that shit? That Bayley segment on SmackDown. We talked about it yesterday. That Bayley segment was awesome. That deserves to main event night one. It really does.
I don't disagree.
Yeah, man. You can have the Seth Cody stuff open the show.
There you go.
Because then Cody can show up night two and they'll do a WrestleMania 9 thing, man.
Yeah.
Rock blows out his quads on a leapfrog and then says, Cody, do the rest of this match.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
Done.
There you go.
Done.
Cody wins.
Yeah.
There you go.
Anyways, let's just go ahead and dive into this. We had kicked off with Seth Rollins. Why don't you do Seth and I'll do Cody?
You want me to do Seth? All right. Seth Rollins comes to the ring and says, St. Louis.
Good Seth. Right.
Welcome to Monday Night Rollins.
Oh, he was bitter too because he mentions the pop. Nothing. I'm sorry. I love Seth. I really do. But Roman saying that's what I thought. No pop.
Exactly. No pop.
Exactly. No pop.
Yeah. And now Seth
I might start using no pop in my life, dude.
There you go.
I might start using that.
Yeah, Seth mentions how huge of a pop you got, and he says, "It's been a hell of a week at WWE, and after last Friday's SmackDown, I see what's cooking." So a Cody chant breaks out, as well as a chorus of boos, because no one wants Cody versus Seth.
Yeah.
So he says, "I sense you want Cody. Well, good news for you guys. I want Cody Rhodes as well. After last Friday, I got more questions than answers. I can't wait any longer. Cody Rhodes, come on down."
When he says, "Hey, look, guys, I agree. I want him too." They're like, "No, that's not what we meant. No pop. No pop.
No pop. Take our pop back."
So Cody comes out, big pop. He comes out. He's all smiles. He says he gets a mic and he says, "So, World Heavyweight Champion Seth frickin' Rollins. St. Louis, what do you want to talk about?" And then you get a bunch of Rocky sucks chants.
Yeah.
And Cole says, "What is this, 1996 again?" Which is a great line.
It is. It's a good reference. So Seth says, "I got to be honest, I didn't think I was going to hear that one," responding to the Rocky sucks chants. Says, "Been a hell of a week for you, Cody?"
Yeah.
Says, "I'm going to cut right to the chase. I know what you're going through, but we need answers. Last week I said this was the most prestigious championship of this industry. Stand by those words. I stand by those words, but if I'm being honest, I need this match as much as you do. Look, I'm being real here. I got to know that I'm better than I was when we did this dance a couple of years ago. I got to know I'm the best. And the only way to know if I'm the best to test myself against the best. And guess what, Cody? You're best."
Oh, he said it. He said that Cody's the best.
I know. Let's cut the crap. Let's get some answers. Are you going to fight me at WrestleMania? But before Cody could answer,
Drew McIntyre's music hits. Big pop. Drew comes out. He says, "I think I speak on behalf of everybody when I say, what the hell? I laid you up both perfectly for WrestleMania. You're going to screw it up, Seth. You hate Punk as much as me. You know how bad he would be. I took him out, and you and I were going to discuss a world title match at WrestleMania tonight. I even had a T-shirt commissioned." And he takes off his hoodie, and he's got like a remade version of the meme where he's in front of the gravestone that says, the tombstone, sorry, that says CM Punk's WrestleMania main event. And he's smiling. Great. It's hilarious. It's awesome. Big pop. So he says, "Why'd you have to get inside his head, though? Don't listen to him, Cody. You've got to finish your story. You've been talking about it for 2 years. Think of last year. Think of all the work you put in this year on and off TV. You deserve this. Don't let me down. Don't let your family down or all these people across the world. I don't want to go down this road, but I was close to him. Don't let your dad down." And he's so wonderfully condescending, disingenuous, and obviously putting on a performance. Yeah. And he encapsulates all that to perfection. Drew's performance is such a masterstroke. It's great.
Oh, it's really good. It's really good. So Seth says, "Look, Drew, you don't have to be a prick, all right? Look, what in the world makes you think if he doesn't accept that'll be you and me? We did this twice, and if I recall, you lost." So then Drew says,
So Drew says, he says, "There was outside reasons why, but pot calling the kettle black, didn't you lose to him like 3 times? He says, "I'll say something nice. I heard what you said last Monday. I heard what Roman said Friday. Ignore him. I'll tell you myself. You've done an amazing job with that title. Worked your ass off every week. That is the true workhorse title. Ignore Roman and everyone else. No one wants to fight for Roman's belt because we all know the finish. His family helps him every time. They did it to me, to Cody. This is being the case of may the best man win. If you were the real workhorse, they would have shot you dead after the first injury. But after 17 injuries later, it's time for someone else to take it from here." And then Drew hits Seth with a Glasgow kiss. And then Cody wipes out Drew, sends him running. So really, really good, solid opening segment here.
It was fun. Yeah, Drew's doing career work right now. This is fantastic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely fantastic stuff. We get I like these where they do these shots with like the camera with the really shallow depth of focus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, I don't think it's the same cameras they were using on SmackDown for the entrances, the 8K cameras, but
it's not. No, it just looks like it's a DSLR or something.
But
it's something with a
actually
decent
photographed
lens.
really well. It's not the full field of view. Not everything's in focus. We get one of Becky arriving, another one of Katana and Caden. They both have matches later on, but first, Fatal 4-Way Tag match. You got DIY. We are versus the Creeds versus New Day versus Imperium. This match was so much fun.
Oh man, I love this match. It was great.
It was great. It was a blast. DIY gets the win.
Yep.
So Imperium and New Day are going after each other because they're already in the midst of a feud. Finish saw Gargano and everyone else break up an ankle lock. Everybody's down. Woods is sent out of the ring. Kofi sends himself and Kaiser out. Imperium and New Day fight on the floor. Brutus heads up top and hits them all with the Brutus ball. He then rolls Vinci back in the ring. They look for Creeds look for the Brutus ball finisher. Ciampa, though, tags himself in as Brutus is getting on the top rope. He hits a running knee after the Brutus ball to take out the Creeds. And then they hit me in the middle on Vinci, and Ciampa covers for the win.
For the win.
That sequence where everybody was hitting the dives off the top.
Yeah.
And Ciampa hit that air raid crash. Man.
That was sick. Yeah, that was really cool. Yeah, and the crowd was super into this match, too.
Oh, it was tons of fun. It was great.
We got a super chat here from Jake Russell. Says, boy, Chad Gable lost his momentum. Yeah, Alpha Academy sort of stuck in this thing with Ivar, and it's not the most compelling thing in the world. And like I called this a long time ago. If they don't get Chad Gable out of the comedy stuff, it's not going to translate to something serious like a Gunther feud.
No, it's not.
Also, Mr. Dope with the awesome Kazuchika Okada and Chase U hoodie avatar, joined the Friendo Club. He wants in on that huge predictions challenge, man. He wants those bonus. He can't get enough of Steven Larson. You know, being in a group chat every day, just throwing out NBA memes isn't enough. He wants to listen to Friendo Cast.
Even more.
Even more of us.
Big
pop.
Dope.
Mr. Dope says Steven Larson, big pop.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Dope.
Thanks, buddy.
So then, Shayna's got an promo in the locker room as she's getting ready for a match against Becky Lynch. She says, last time I was in a chamber match, I destroyed everyone to get to Becky Lynch. It didn't go my way last time, but tonight I get to go. I got to get through her, fight for the opportunity I want. Tonight I tear her apart limb from limb. And we cut to Becky. She's walking backstage. Says, I had to fight Shayna because my title was on the line, but when I fight her tonight, I need to be here because my future is on the line.
Yep. Yeah, I like that promo. I thought it was good. I thought that style is good too. You know, it's just doesn't need an interviewer. Just like
it's
Cameron.
Just the walking and talking promo. You can't go wrong with that.
I know, it's good stuff. That's good stuff. Do you think you'd be able to? How many takes would it take for you to do like a 1 minute walking promo?
Probably a lot. To do it effectively and articulately?
Yeah.
Probably a lot.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
I'm not the most articulate person, as I'm sure you're well aware.
And you know, like especially like remembering back in the days when we used to make short films for 10 for the win.
Yeah.
When you fuck up once, you start to feel the pressure. You fuck up more, and it gets worse and worse and worse.
And your performances suffer because of the pressure you're applying on yourself. You take a deep breath.
Yeah.
Relax.
Yeah. You just can't relax. You're just digging a giant hole.
I know.
Fuck up. Yeah, it's horrible.
Like, gosh, we just want to get this done so we can go play some GTA or Rocket League or something.
Exactly.
Get this over with.
After that, we had Becky Lynch versus Shayna Baszler. Becky gets the win here. So Shayna locks Becky's arm in the ropes. It was a really good match. Locks Becky's arms in the ropes and heads up top. Becky gets out and takes out Shayna. Becky hits a superplex and transitions into a disarm her. But Shayna blocks it. Shayna hits a tilt-a-whirl facebuster for 2. Shayna screams at Becky. Becky and her have a big old slap fight in the ring. We had an attempt at a coup by Shayna, and then Becky rolls through for a 2 count. Becky fights out of a gut wrench attempt and hits a manhandle slam out of nowhere. Becky Lynch wins again, moves on to it. It's a bummer that Shayna, because they played up. They were like, hey, Shayna like eliminated everybody in Elimination Chamber a couple of years ago.
Now she didn't
in
get
2020.
into it.
Now she can't even get into it. That's a bad move.
It is.
There's like a bunch of other people they probably, unless there's like travel issues with Shayna, I don't know, because they're going to Perth. But like, why would you not have Shayna in the Elimination Chamber?
Yeah, no, just the idea that she eliminated everybody in that.
It's her match.
She was in it, you know, and to have to face someone who's done that in that structure in Elimination Chamber, so who has a history of eliminating everybody, that's a good story to tell during the match.
They should have done like a random draw situation with these qualifiers, and then Shayna randomly gets Zoe.
Yeah.
You know, because Zoe's not going to be in the chamber. She's about to take on Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan's going to beat her.
Yeah. Watch me.
Watch me.
So we're backstage. Speaking of Liv, she's got an interview next. She says, firstly, I think Zoe is incredible, but respectfully, these girls have nothing to do with my business. My business has nothing to do with these girls. I had nearly 1 year of my career taken away from me, so next week it's about my revenge, and my revenge is about Rhea Ripley. Watch me.
Watch me. I'm gonna watch you. I'm gonna watch you get handled by Rhea Ripley. Is what I'm gonna watch you do, Liv. Man, it's gonna be whenever that happens. It's gonna be a good match, I guess. It's gonna be like a Raw main event, probably.
Oh, they could probably get a pay-per-view. They'll get a pay-per-view out of Liv and Rhea. Yeah.
What, after Mania?
Yeah, after Mania.
All right. We'll see. I'm curious to see what they do with Liv Morgan. I get people like Liv Morgan. She ain't got no character, no pop. So maybe if they build her up in a good way, then maybe you can get like a pay-per-view match.
Yeah, they'll get a pay-per-view match out of it. Watch me. So we're backstage. Drew McIntyre walks up to Adam Pearce. Pearce says, make me understand what not medically cleared. What about that doesn't make sense? Maybe if you check your bank account, you see a few less zeros. You're getting fined. If I knew you were wearing that T-shirt, I would have doubled it.
That was funny.
Like if, let me ask you this. Pearce is finding Drew for his actions that happened in the ring after he revealed the shirt.
Yeah.
If he takes issue with the shirt, which you can buy in WWE Shop apparently, why not fine him for the shirt when he's fining him for his actions when the shirt was revealed before he conducted himself in a way that required Pearce to fine him?
Because Pearce was probably smart this Monday and did his drinking before the show. So he's just shooting out off the mouth, no logic to what he's saying because it's all fueled by alcohol, Larson.
That's as good as any explanation. Drew says,
in kayfabe, I hope that's the case, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So Drew responds, "You should do your job." Rhea's music hits. You can hear it through, through the venue as they're still talking.
I liked that setup. Pierce was, because again, Pierce is out of control. We talked about this like last week. It was a good conversation. Who would you rather work for, Aldrich or Pierce? Let me ask you this. Did you have time to consider that? Do you feel me out where I'm coming from?
No, I understood where you're coming from.
Wouldn't you rather be under Pierce where we can run the place?
Listen, I don't feel like I can thrive in a chaotic environment. That's my thing. All right?
Right. Yeah.
I'm an anxious individual. Chaos stresses me out.
Yeah.
I want an environment where there's structure. I feel like that benefits me.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
If you feel like you could thrive in the chaos and not get trampled over, more power to you.
Oh, dude, I would run roughshod over Adam Pierce. I'm telling you. Yeah. He'd be like, Steve, I'm going to fine you. I'm like, oh, yeah. And I'd get out like a flask. And I'd be like, you want to find out what's in here? Then no fining
a bottle of whiskey. Fine, you say. Maybe this will help you think twice about it.
How about some fine Jack Daniels?
Exactly. Oh, man. Well, hold on there. So Rhea's music hits. I like that Adam Pierce goes, "Is that Rhea's music?"
Yeah, yeah. And he's like, "Oh yeah, she's coming out." And he's like, "She's not supposed to."
Great. So we go to the ring. She comes to the ring. Rhea does. She's not happy. She takes the mic, says, "Yes, Becky just qualified for Elimination Chamber. I'm not out here to talk about qualifying matches. I'm out here because I want Nia Jax in this ring 1-on-1 so I can rip her bloody head off. Says, I advise you to get in this ring, Nia." So Adam Pierce interrupts, says, No, not now. You and I both know this isn't the time. I know you're upset, but we aren't going to do this right now. I get it. I know you want it. You want Nia, so here's what I've done. You're going to get Nia at Elimination Chamber. Does that work? Good. Let's keep the show going. So Nia's music hits, and she just runs right through Adam Pierce to get to the ring.
Yeah, it was kind of awesome.
And so they brawl, and Nia hits another annihilator on Rhea. And she walks off as Pierce gets up and checks on Rhea in the ring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. No, I thought it was a really effective segment. It is kind of wild, dude, how the fan perception on Nia Jax has swung so far back to positive. Mm-hmm. Because back in the day, it was like the fans really, at least the online fans, like the internet wrestling community, were really anti-Nia. And part of it is because of the internet wrestling community and they're going to be toxic. But like the fan sentiment seems to have swung pretty heavily in favor of the work that she's been doing. I think that's awesome. You and I have always been fans of like the character stuff. Mm-hmm. And I like how they're booking her these days. I think it's really fun stuff.
Yeah, it has been fun. It has been a lot of
fun. So after that, we got highlights of Bayley choosing Io, and then we have the Kabuki Warriors warming up for their match later. And then we have Tozawa and Maxine from Alpha Academy. Maxine Dupree versus Ivar and Valhalla in some mixed match challenge type action. I miss the mixed match challenge, Larson. Put that shit back. I even like that it was on Facebook. Fuck it, why not?
Different. It was just
I know. And they were all like basically out of character. It was so fun.
It was so great. Again, no pressure. Just they could relax and just be themselves.
They could relax, Big pop for mixed match challenge.
Yeah.
Tequila Mocking Turd. Holy shit, what a great name. It's not tequila, it's Tequila Mocking Turd. It's like you already have a good thing with the Tequila Mockingbird, but then you throw a turd at the end.
Oh my goodness.
That's their YouTube name. Just became a channel member here. They get the Friendo Club set up. Big pop for Tequila Mocking Turd.
Huge pop. Exactly. Huge pop. Ivar and Valhalla get the win here. The finish, Tozawa looking for a sunset flip powerbomb. Ivar catches him and hits a world's strongest slam off the second rope to get the W.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I'm sort of over this stuff, to be honest with you.
Yeah. There's not much upside to this.
How many variations of Alpha Academy versus Ivar can we really get? I mean, they're really testing that theory out. Anyways, after that, we see a clip from last week of Judgment Day attacking Truth. And then we got backstage there in their little their little clubhouse. Yeah, their clubhouse. Have they have I mentioned this before? They've got an old school television back there with the Raw logo on it.
Cathode tube TV back
I love
there.
that.
They've had that
That's
back there
so
for a
great.
while.
I think, yeah, but I don't know. Every time I notice it, and I think it's a new thing. Anyways, backstage, Judgment Day are there. Finn's like, I don't care who we face. Pete and Tyler, DIY. Pete and Tyler, DIY. Doesn't matter who we face. And Priest's like, yeah, I agree. So Dom walks in. They all stand up, and he's like, hey, Rhea's good, just not very happy. We need to give her some space. And JD's like, oh, man. Nia Jax doesn't know what she's in for. So Truth walks in and says, "Que paso, friends? Sorry I'm late." And JD's like, "What?" He's like, "You're lucky I have a match or I'd wipe the floor with you." And Truth says, "You need to be wiping the windowsills. Earn your keep around here." So JD and Dom leave for the match. And Finn's like over himself. He's like, "Hey, look, I know what it is. I know you feel bad, but I'm in now. The first one was a pre-initiation. Last week was the reinitiation." And Finn says, "No, there was never initiation. What planet are we getting through?" "Damien, I can't deal with the man. I'm out." And Priest's like, "Truth? Make yourself at home, whatever. I don't care."
Yeah.
And then he walks out and the crowd pops for that shit.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Are they going to pivot Priest again back to sort of being a face? Because for a second, it was like, oh, he's going to be a face with Truth. Then he's going to be a big bad guy. This week, he did something that they'd probably only do if he was a face, if he was a good guy.
I know.
It kind of seems like they're waffling a bit, doesn't it?
Complexity, Steve. We're seeing it as complexity.
I could see it as being complexity. I could also see it being as waffling, though. You know what I mean?
One or the other, man.
It could be one of the. I hope it's complexity. I always like complexity.
I want the pretty well established that Priest has a soft spot for R-Truth. At the same time, he realized that R-Truth get in the way of Judgment Day business.
Yeah.
That's why he tried to take him out.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a situation where, despite that, Truth comes back. That's gonna appeal to Priest and I like R-Truth. I like him. Doesn't mean R-Truth involved in Judgment Day is good for Judgment Day, but I like R-Truth. So at this instance, at least, it was like, all right, Truth, I like you, so you could stick around. But then at the end of the tag match, it seemed like almost like R-Truth, the Miz's match against JD, like R-Truth, put all that in motion to help Miz win because they were celebrating together at the top of the ramp.
It seemed like more of a calculated thing from R-Truth, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I kind of wonder if they just understand that, look, DIY as a wrestling tag team are really good. As characters, they're nowhere close to being a featured attraction.
No.
Nobody is. Even Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, they're probably a couple months away from being sort of on solid ground as characters as a team. People love Miz, they love Truth, or they love Truth, and they like Miz.
Mm-hmm.
And the Awesome Truth, yeah, maybe they've decided finally, okay, this is the direction we're going to go because they need to get those titles off Judgment Day at some point.
Yeah. Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
JD comes to the ring. He has a match against Miz next. Before that match, we get an interview with Mike. Miz. Jackie asked him about his relationship with R-Truth and whether Truth being in Judgment Day. And Miz says Truth still thinks he's in. I don't know if that makes him crazy or a genius. I know Truth, and he straddles the line between crazy and genius, and that is why we love him and have his back. He thinks last week was initiation, but it was an act of war. Battle lines have been drawn, and we are going to fight because I am the Miz, and I'm... And he points up because the theme song hit, but the crowd says awesome before the awesome in the theme song pops in.
Yeah, an attempt was made.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
But I like that they're doing that crossover between the in-arena audio and what's going on backstage.
Oh, that's fun stuff. Yeah.
Again, a more organic universe.
Mm-hmm. No, I like it. It's good. So anyways, more Judgment Day / R-Truth shenanigans here leading to Miz getting the win. So let's see here. Where does Truth come out? I'm looking at the notes here.
Oh, it should be.
Oh, here we go. Okay,
there.
so after the commercial break, Miz boots JD, runs into an Uranagi. and then a moonsault for a 2 count. JD heads to the top rope. Truth comes out. So he had found a big box of T-shirts in the previous segment with Judgment Day. And he comes out and he's got sort of usher gear on. And he's starting to throw some Judgment Day shirts into the crowd. So Miz is laying in a few punches, some body kicks. He goes for a skull-crushing finale. But JD rolls out. JD is thrown to the floor. Miz hits a baseball slide on Dom. JD grabs his legs, but Miz hits a head scissors. Miz stares at Dom. Truth grabs Dom and puts a shirt on him, but like over his arm, so Dom is sort of tied up. Miz boots Dom, laying him out. So JD heads up top, hits a nice-looking moonsault. Miz kicks out at 2. Truth gets up on the apron, calls for JD. He's like, I've got your cut of the sales here. He's got a bunch of money. And JD's like, I'll take the money. Starts to put it in his tights, but Miz comes to, hits a skull-crushing finale out of nowhere. And JD sells it great because he just throws all the money up. So as he's going for the pin, all the money is sort of raining down that he just taken from Truth. So Truth gets in there, grabs the money that he dropped, and then up on the top of the ramp there, Truth meets Miz and raises his arm. And so, yeah, it does seem like a little bit more there in cahoots a little bit.
Yeah, it definitely does. It definitely does. So after that, Imperium is chatting up with Adam Pearce, and Kaiser's like, hey, everything that we discussed, is it ready? And Pearce says, yes, everything that we discussed. Don't worry. If you don't mind now, I need the room. I have a meeting. So Braun Breaker walks in, and Pearce says, hey, have you met Braun? No, but of course, probably did in NXT, given that Braun and Gunther had a match there.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, hey, everything you asked for is in this contract. Look it over. And Braun's like, sure thing, Adam Pearce.
I just told you I don't know how to read. So after that, we have the 600-day celebration for the Ring Generals. Gunther, my cousin from Austria, for his Intercontinental Championship. So he comes out and he says, to the surprise of absolutely nobody, I stand here today celebrating the jubilee of 600 days as Intercontinental Champion. To be honest, Ludwig, I really appreciate the gesture of setting this up, but I don't want it anymore going forward. 600, 700, 800, heck, 1,000 days. It's a given anyways. He says one thing that will never change, and that is the Ring General being the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time. I'm running out of competition. There is no man worthy of challenging me. Who is it? You tell me. And then, ooh, just me, Oos. It's Jey Uso.
It's Jey Uso. He comes to the ring. Bunch of yeet chants.
Yeet.
And he says, main event Jey Uso is now in your city.
And Gunther says, I get it. Yeah, I get it. Simple gestures for a simple audience. I get it totally.
This is probably Gunther's best mic work so far on main roster.
I thought it was really good. They started I always love it when they start to what somebody, but somebody's punchline is so good that they go, what? Oh, you know? And that's what we had here. So he says, CJ, last time I saw you, CJ, not CJ. Last time I saw you, I eliminated you from the Rumble. I expected you to have a word with me, but this is not the way. I sense some disrespect here.
Yeah, and Jay says, no disrespect, Oos. You earned your stripes. I see the work you put in, 600-plus days, Oos. Longest reigning Intercontinental Champion in history, the Ring General, Gunther.
And Gunther says, I appreciate that, but I got to say you're accomplished yourself. One of the most decorated tag teams of all time. You're part of the best tag team in WWE history, even hold the record for longest reigning tag champs of all time. The best is you only had to put in 50% of the work for it. I mean, Jay, that's why I'm confused as we see eye to eye. I accomplished all this on my own.
And then Jay says, well, I guess you're about to get 100% of this work then, Gunther. Let me reintroduce myself. With 1,000 days as tag champs, first tag team to ever main event WrestleMania in 2024, first singles champion. If you want Jey Uso to be the new Intercontinental Champion, let me hear you say, yeet.
Yeet. So Gunther says, good for you. After 15 years, you finally got the guts to step out of the shadow of your family and achieve something for yourself. Let me talk plain and simple. You aren't the first and won't be the last who wants to ride on the Ring General's coattails, but when I beat you, I'm going to beat you worse than your own family ever did. I beat you so bad when people couldn't, he says, beat you so bad you're going to wish you go back to the days when people couldn't tell you and your brother apart.
Oof.
Oos. And that's when the crowd was like, oh, that was rough.
Yeah.
So he shoves Jay. Jay takes him down, but Imperium attacks. New Day runs out to make the save, and the faces stand tall. And it's announced that we're going to get that 6-man tag next week.
Yep. Then we got Nakamura video package. He says, Cody, you want to fight me so badly? Fine. You chose a bull rope match because you thought it would give you an advantage, but the only thing it will do is bring embarrassment to your family name when I beat you in a match. Your name made famous. That is what you will get from this match. Pain, loss, shame. I see people saying, we want Cody, but no. I want Cody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then we have the Party Girls versus the Kabuki Warriors. Decent enough, I guess. The chemistry wasn't really there with these two teams, I feel. But in any event, the Kabuki Warriors get their win over the Party Girls for their rematch here. Not sure where. Do you see, like, they kept on showing the tag teams, the women's tag teams backstage watching this, but it's all sort of people that, I don't know. I don't know that they're, honestly, with the exception of Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, because they could easily be faces.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know that, like, anybody is strong enough to be real challengers to them.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to do a multi-team match for WrestleMania or Bianca and Jade. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
That's my fantasy book right there.
I know. So Asuka and Kairi get the win here. The finish saw Katana tag back in. So the Chants and Carter are looking for a keg stand, but Kairi trips up Katana, throws her into the ring steps, and then Kairi goes up top. They hit the insane elbow backbreaker combo type deal to get the win.
I do love that finish.
Oh, it's great.
That is awesome. Yeah. I hope that they continue to give the Party Girls stuff to do, like good stuff to do. They are such a wildly creative tag team.
They are. They really are.
So backstage, I really like this, dude. They did like a empty arena interview with
like
Sammy up in
starts.
Yeah, Sammy up in the stands wearing his civilian gear. And Jackie interviews him. He says, I had a good year. It's taken me back to this time last year after the Rumble, going into the biggest match of my career. All the stars aligned, but I came up short. I don't let it eat me up, but after the match, Triple H pulled me aside and said you gave the performance of a lifetime. He says, you're Rocky. He doesn't win in Rocky 1, but he makes a name for himself, and that's what you did. I'll give 100% every night. It's life or death for me. If I'm not alive in there, I might as well be dead. I might fight like an underdog, but I'm not one anymore. Part of me needs to prove it to myself, but mostly to prove to the people in these seats, that I can do this. I don't know where that leads Sami Zayn for WrestleMania. I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe if they do Gunther J over the next month, they could pivot to Sammy.
Yeah.
That's a possibility as well.
Yeah, it's
because
totally a
Sammy Gunther could be one. I know they did that match sort of during the Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn Imperium feud, but
yeah,
I feel like they could probably do a meteor feud with like a big Mania, oh my God match,
Yeah, totally. 20 minutes. PWG style match at WrestleMania. Yeah, I hear you. Then we got our main event. Cody versus Nakamura, bull rope match. Decent enough bout.
Well,
although Cody seems largely impervious to the effects of the mist.
Yeah, well, he's been misted a lot these days. Don't you think
he's built up a tolerance, you're saying?
A bit of a natural immunity, if you will, yeah. Maybe he took some mist vax in advance of that.
Could be.
I don't know. Do they have vaccines for that?
I don't know.
Probably not.
So it was a fairly competitive match back and forth. So Nakamura setting up for a Kinshasa, but Cody evades it, hits a pedigree. Nakamura kicks out of that. Cody, especially early in the match, loved just grabbing that cowbell and just rattling it around.
Yeah.
Just rattling around that cowbell a lot. So then Nakamura hits him with the mist. Nakamura's looking for a sleeper, but Cody instead hits like basically a crossroads when he can't see anything. Nakamura kicks out of the crossroads. So Cody's there. He's trying to get the mist out of his eyes. Nakamura uses the cowbell, hits him with the cowbell a few times, looking for a Kinshasa, but Cody blocks it with the cowbell.
He looked like Arn Anderson blocking a black mass.
It really did.
He did this shit.
He did.
Like, this guy's coming full force with this devastating finisher.
Blow right
Cody
past
goes,
his forearms, man. I know. And so in the process of evading the Kinshasa, the bull rope ends up between Nakamura's legs. So Cody, crotches Nakamura with the bull
deep
with the
up
bull
in
rope.
there, man.
Yeah,
deep.
hits another crossroads to get the win. Afterwards, Cody gets to his feet only for Drew McIntyre to come in, attack him, hits a bunch of punches, hits a Claymore, and he kips up, takes off his shirt, stands over Cody and looks up at that WrestleMania sign.
Yeah. AB Abs 92 here in our YouTube chat. It says, "Is mist essentially just water with food coloring?" I feel like in WWE it is. Pretty much.
At least for Cody it is.
Yeah, for Cody. Dun 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 dun.
I know.
Dun dun dun. All right. Would you like to answer some questions?
Let's answer some questions.
Would you like to answer some questions?
Let's answer some questions. High Plains Drifter just says, "Is this the final days of Triple H? That Cody promo made no sense." No, I don't. No,
I doubt it.
No,
unless there's some shit that comes out like in the lawsuit stuff.
Yeah,
then
then
that's a whole different story. Yeah,
that's a different thing. As far as like a power struggle at the top of TKO, we just don't know. So regarding like I'm talking about like The Rock.
Yeah. You're right. We don't know, but again, I don't know. Here's the thing. Like I said, I feel like Triple H is a big boy enough to understand that if you have the opportunity to do Rock Roman, you have to do it. Like it's silly not to.
Yeah. It is.
And after that, I don't know. I don't know. Like the bottom line is he's got bosses there. Mm-hmm. And if they're going to say, "Hey, listen, you're the creative guy, but we have to go in this direction because it just financially makes a lot of sense. We've been convinced by The Rock that it makes sense. Can you craft a good story where maybe we can have our cake and eat it too? You still do Rock Roman and try to make Cody more popular in the meantime, and maybe that's what Triple H is doing. I don't know. But I find it difficult to believe that it's a straight up power struggle. Like, come on, Rock and Triple H. Like, I don't know, a lot of history with those guys.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Roman's Laugh. What a good name. Give me a Roman laugh, Steve.
Exactly. No pop. Come on.
Long-time listener, first-time friendo. I like the idea of Larson joining Legado on the sole fact they both like wine.
I was talking about the production of that segment. Did you like the production, the way it was filmed?
Yeah, I like the inclusion and how they photographed the wine.
Right. No, but it's
part of it. Steve, would you rather team Gunther, Braun Breaker, or Von Wagner for the sole reason that you would both sound like each other? Oh, that you do all the impressions of them.
Oh, who would it be? Braun Breaker, Von Wagner?
Gunther, Braun, and Von Wagner in a faction.
Wasn't feeling my Gunther today, so I had to go back to Steve voice.
Interesting.
Yeah, wasn't feeling it. Yeah,
interesting.
I lost it. I had it and I lost it. But Von Wagner, yeah, hey, Braun, we're part of a new faction now. The new Nexus, the new Nexus. There's already a new Nexus. Hey, Stone. John and Alistair voice. John says, with British Strong Style winning the SmackDown Tag Team 4-Way, and we are DIY winning the Raw 4-Way. Could we potentially see a match between the two teams? Oh, yeah, it was announced.
Yeah, it was announced.
That was announced, man.
I guess Corey Graves, according to chat here, Corey Graves said it was going to happen at Chamber, but on Raw last night it said that it was going to happen at some point. They didn't mention as far as
I swear to God, it said it had like the SmackDown graphic on there.
Oh, sorry, the winner of that match against Judgment.
Oh, the tag team title match.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that match happened on SmackDown though.
Dave Matushek says, with Chamber in 3 weeks' time, which title do you think the men's Chamber match should be for? Well, I think it should be for a number one contender shot at Seth's title, but I think it's going to be for probably the U.S. title or something.
Yeah, I think it's going to be for the U.S. title too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ooh, Elemental Giant says, is Drew the early front runner for Wrestler of the Year?
Wow.
We don't necessarily usually base it on exclusively character stuff. Like, he's a good wrestler, but I think you and I usually sort of pivot more to, although this year at the Friendo Awards, we're doing something completely different.
Yeah, we're gonna mix it up quite a bit.
So maybe we can add like a character of the year, for character work.
Yeah.
That's a cool idea. Somebody write that. We need a Friendo Awards document.
We do.
Yeah. Oh, Caslow has a good idea. He says front runner for hater of the year.
Oh, yeah.
Best zingers of the year.
Oh, Drew is definitely on a finalist already.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Oh, presentation of the year. DJE here says Queen Aminata is my front runner, despite the L's. Presentation off the charts.
Here, I'll write some of these things down.
Oh yeah, for sure. Make a document. Presentation of the year. Depth guy of the year is a good one. There you go. Hater of the year or / zingers of the year. Jake Russell asks, modern day NWO, who's your Hogan, Hall, and Nash?
Modern day?
Yeah, modern day.
I guess the Hogan would be John Cena.
Well, if they did it right now.
I just say Cena because he's the guy who never really turned heel, and then him turning heel would be such a shock.
Okay.
I don't know if there's anything close to an analogy. Oh, it'd be Cody if Cody turned heel in WWE at this point.
So if like MJF and Starks came over from AEW as invaders, which is absolutely hilarious because the thing about Hall and Nash is that they were huge. So MJF and Starks coming over to the land of fucking giants.
Oh, I know. I know.
Sorry, that's messed up. I know it's pro wrestling, but like, you got to be kind of real with that. Kane Carnage says, perhaps Cody's smart enough to know Dwayne wouldn't fight Roman, their family. This is about Roman feeling secure until it's closer to Mania, and then Cody chooses him. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know how they're going to do it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Part of me thinks we're going to get Cody both nights. I get that feel. I don't know. Cody saying, trust me, the reaction. I don't know. We're probably going to get Cody both nights.
Could be. Emerald City Pictures here, member for 16 months, says, Cody this, Rock that. I'm just wondering when Lexus King gets his shot at the Tribal Chief.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that probably isn't going to happen anytime soon.
Probably not.
Probably not. Probably not.
I'd love to see it, though.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
We'd get a lot of fake laugh from Roman. Oh, Maggie says, I missed the first suggestion, but got the rest of them. Y'all remember the doc with the mod addresses? I added a tab to it and listed them
Maggie.
There.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you,
Maggie.
Thank you,
Maggie's our champion. Luis says, how would you equate what's going on with Cody to a TV show or movie? Same question, but to a real-life event. Is there a movie or TV show that is analogous to this Cody Rock Roman situation?
That's a good question. Yeah, dude, I know there is. Yeah. Kind of, maybe. This is kind of an obscure one. You never watched Boardwalk Empire, did you?
No, I never saw it.
So one of the lead actors on there, God damn, Michael, I forget his name.
Michael Pitt?
Yeah. Apparently, according to like the rumors and stuff, he was kind of a pill to deal with. So like they really suddenly wrote him off when clearly they were building for a long-term story there, and he was just off the show and they pivoted the story. When I was like, oh man, I was kind of curious to see where his story was going. So maybe kind of like that.
Okay.
Something like that.
That's good.
Probably a better answer out there, to be honest with you.
No, I think that's pretty good. Pretty good.
There's also like, remember, this is the second time I'm going to make this reference. DC's Armageddon 2001 crossover event where the big bad was supposed to be Captain Atom, but instead it ended up being a Hawk from Hawk and Dove.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Jack Napier.
Anonymous tip. Napier cleans out Axis chemicals.
Says, who would you put the U.S. title on in order to go on a Gunther-like run to give the belt more prestige?
Oh, the U.S. title.
Yeah.
I would use it to kick off Montez Ford's solo run.
Good answer.
I'd love to see Montez Ford get an opportunity to be a workhorse guy.
Yeah.
I bet he could be a phenomenal workhorse guy.
Yeah, I think so. I don't have an answer better than that.
How is it Bobby Lashley and his dudes don't have a name, man?
I know. What the heck?
Well, the rumor was they're going to be called the Pride, right?
Yeah.
Let's see here. Real TJP. says, with TKO, do you see NXT finally becoming a third brand, including a proper draft? I think with Ava becoming a general manager, and their move to the CW, I could see that as a potential. I could see that as a possibility. Yeah. I think mainly moving to the CW.
Yeah, it's entirely possible. It is entirely possible. That's for sure. Yeah, could be.
Here we go. White Brownie says, during NXT Vengeance Day, a mysterious vignette aired and nothing much was said as to who or what it could be. So from what I understand, somebody had tweeted something like Dante, Chen, and Boa had been in the NXT crowd wearing certain masks. Oh. And they're thinking that it's probably a rebranded them.
Oh, could be.
Oh, Cameron Shank, the current Big Blue Predictions champion, just gifted 5 memberships to the community. Thank you so much, Cameron. We appreciate it.
Cameron. Thank you.
Cameron's our Big Blue champion.
Shelby here says, hey, Friendo, a bit of a serious question with the Rock Roman Cody situation not being ruled out by anyone as a distraction from the lawsuit. Is there a responsibility fans have to make sure the company knows we value the talent we love being treated fairly and respectfully on and off screen? Yeah, I think it's important fans continue to push the company to make improvements in regards to the safety of talent and employees of the company. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Just one username with a super chat says, don't mind The Rock, just happy Vince is gone. Yeah, I mean, that's one thing to keep in mind as well is the storyline stuff is, look, man, you hear about this stuff about once again, internet wrestling community weirdos going way too far with stupid storyline shit. Look, man, I know there's a lot of Cody fans out there. I'm number one guy, right? But it's all stories. It's all silly wrestling stuff. And people need to keep in mind that there are bigger things at play in WWE and worker safety, specifically with women's wrestlers and women's staff members in WWE. Clearly, there's a lot of changes that need to happen, and that's sort of the more important aspect of things. We can debate all day long about storylines, but at the end of the day, that's just silly writing. That's just silly fiction. Who cares, right? In the grand scheme of things, it don't mean dick compared to actual lives being affected. So
exactly.
Yeah, keep that stuff in mind. Anyways, on that note, once again, thanks everybody for helping us get to our goal of 200,000 subs. We're gonna get a short feature-length film or a short film that's featured on our YouTube channel.
It's a feature film, 69 minutes long, Steve. Come on.
Yeah, sure. But it's also featuring it on YouTube. Kind of a big deal. So, yeah. Anyways, that's going to do it for the show. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate it. Till next time, we'll see you around.
Goodbye.